You have already seen different test items for the assessment of basic motor competences in kindergarten. Welcome to the presentation, Assessment and Monitoring of Basic Motor Competences in Europe. My name is Herrmann. I work at the Zurich University of Teaching Education in Switzerland. Basic motor competences are important for an active participation in physical education and sport and exercise. Long term and can be improved through practice, especially in physical education. And basic motor competences are context dependent and refer to specific requirements in sports and exercise. For the assessment, we developed the Mobx instrument. Mobx stands for the German motorische Basiskompetenzen. In order to ensure curricular validity, we designed the test instrument in close connection with the learning goals specified in the curriculum. The Mobx instrument evaluates context-based basic motor competences in the areas object movement and self-movement. They include normatively defined standard and include 4 items for each area, and the test items are assessed as passed or failed. To describe motor development, we have designed 4 test items. For the kindergarten, for the 1st and 2nd grade, the 3rd and 4th grade, and for the 5th grade. You can see that are becoming more and more difficult. Bouncing while standing for the kindergarten, bouncing while walking, through obstacles, and bouncing through obstacles under time pressure in the age from 10 to 12. In the BMC-EU study, we used the Mobx test instruments for 1 to 4. For the 1st and 2nd graders, we have 2 different areas. We have the area object movement, so it's throwing. So the students throw 6 juggling balls from a 2-meter distance at a target. We have catching. The test leader drops a tennis ball from a height of 2 meters to the ground as the student catches the ball after the reversal pound. Bouncing. The student bounces basketballs through a marked corridor without losing the ball. And dribbling. The student dribbles the soccer ball with at least 5 ball contacts through the same corridor without losing the ball. In the area self-movement, we have balancing. So an upside down long bench is lying on a springboard. The student crosses the bench fluently without leaving the bench. We have rolling. The student performs a forward roll. On jumping, the student jumps across 4 carpet tiles fluently. And sidestepping, the student moves 3 meters sideways to the right and moves back to the left. Each student has 2 attempts to fulfill the task. The test items are assessed with pass or fail, and the amount of time passed is recorded in points. Therefore, you can reach in every item 0, 1, or 2 points. For the 3rd and 4th graders, we also have 8 items. 4 in object movement and 4 in self-movement. So we have throwing, catching, dribbling, and bouncing, as well as balancing, rolling, jumping, and running. However, these items are more difficult than the Mobx items for the 1st and 2nd graders and are in line with the curriculum in that age. For the practical application of the Mobx test instruments, like for teachers in school, we recommend the calculation of factor sum values for both areas, object movement and self-movement. This enables an easy distribution of the data with easy to interpret results. Within each factor in each area, the sum values achieved a maximum of 8 points. So 4 items with 2 points each. The project Basic Motor Competencies in Europe is carried out in collaboration with 13 universities in 12 European countries. So we have Austria, Belgium, the Czech Republic, Germany 2 times, Greece, Italy, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Portugal, Slovakia, and Switzerland. The BMC project pursues 2 goals. One goal is the measurement of basic motor competences among school-age children in primary school with the Mobx instrument. And the second goal of the project is to use the analyzed results for developing a support toolkit and a teacher training. In this presentation, I would like to focus on the results of the Mobx survey. If you look at the sample, we can see that we have get a lot of data. We were able to assess about 4,600 first and second graders, as well as 2,100 third and fourth graders in different samples in different countries. To the data evaluation, to evaluate these really complex data, first of all, we calculated confirmatory factor analysis to check the factorial validity. So we used ordinal estimators and weighted the balanced the different sample sizes, and we corrected the multi-level structure. But these calculations are really complex, so for a simple presentation of the data, we calculated also descriptive statistics. So we compared the mean values and the percentage of children with special educational needs and used variance analysis. Furthermore, we calculated Pearson correlations of the Mobx areas object movement and self-movement with BMI and with participation in ball sports and individual sports. To compare the differences between the samples and the countries, we use a bootstrap procedure and use the confidence intervals to see if there are significant differences between the samples and the countries. All analyses are adjusted for age and gender to balance differences between the sample sizes. So first we did the confirmatory factor analysis to confirm the structure of the Mobx instrument with the 2 factors. So the model fit of this analysis showed really good value for both test instruments and confirmed the 2-factor solution works in every sample and in every country. So you see the values, the Mobx 1 in blue and Mobx 3 in red. Therefore, the Mobx instrument satisfies factorial validity and can be used in whole Europe. This allows also the calculation of factor sum values for all samples, so it's easy to interpret these data. These are the results for the first and second grade. In the overall sample, boys score an average of 5 points in object movement, while girls score around 3.5 points. There were also significant differences between the samples. You will see here the different levels of the motor competences between the samples. However, girls consistently perform worse than boys in all samples. In the area self-movement, boys and girls score slightly less than 5 points, but we also see significant differences between the samples from different countries. In the third and fourth grades, the results are quite similar. The boys show a better performance in object movement, the girls perform slightly better in self-movement. But again, there are significant differences between the country-specific samples. So you see big differences between Italy and Switzerland, Austria, and so on. If you look at the correlation between basic motor competencies and participation in ball sports like handball, basketball, or soccer, and individual sport like gymnastics, dancing, we see that active children perform better in both areas. So especially the participation in ball sports is related to object movement. You see that in both samples. And individual sports is correlated to self-movement. The BMI is negatively related to motor performance in total. This correlation is particularly evident in the 3rd and 4th grade. So you see here a really big association between BMI and the performance in the Mobx. In summary, so we see different mobile levels between samples and countries, but also we see similar correlations between the Mobx and the coverage for both age groups, all samples and countries. So boys perform better in object movement, girls perform slightly better in self-movement. BMI was inversely related to the Mobx, especially with self-movement and in the old age group. Physical activity outside school was also associated with the Mobx. But we have one big limitation. These are no representative data, so the comparison across countries are not possible at this moment. For further information, please check out our website. So you hear also our BMC-EU team at our last meeting in Verona. You see actual news, you see our publications, and also you see at our website the description of the Mobx test in detail with videos, with links to the manuals and so on. Also, please contact me. And if you are looking for our publications, our scientific publication, you find that all at my ResearchGate account. Finally, Dankeschön fürs Zuhören. This is a Basel dialect, and hopefully we will see us in the next meeting, not online. Ciao!
Készült Magyarország kormánya megbízásából az Európai Unió támogatásával.